I feel like I've been on this journey my whole life because it started with my name, Talitha Cumi, which literally means little girl wake up. And I can't say it's been easy. There's been a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, but I believe life is all in your decision making. The I Am Talitha Cumi Show is a combination of things that I love to talk about, and I want to enlighten you, encourage you, and inspire you to be the best you can be with some help from me and my guests. Let's talk about it.
What's poppin', buddy? See, I got the leftovers from Auntie. Let's go ahead and crack these damn leftovers and make it good. It's a red slider.
And we are live here at the Botham Jean Foundation Gala event, you guys. Did you know that the real New Year is not on January 1st? It's on March 20th. So the real New Year's Eve is March 19th, with New Year's Day being March 20th. So you guys don't worry if you haven't kept up your New Year's resolutions, because you still have a little bit of time. So is there anything that I left?
No, other than my name is pronounced Georgia Nay.
Georgia, I was pronouncing that all wrong. Georgia Nay. My bad. I hate when people pronounce my name wrong too.
Talitha Cumi.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Talitha Cumi, and I want to welcome you to the I Am Talitha Cumi Show on the Food for the Soul Media Group Network. Thanks for tuning in, and remember you can catch us here every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on our Food for the Soul YouTube station and Food for the Soul Media Group FB page. And you guys make sure to check out our re-air audio shows on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Shout out to Quan with Gorilla Cross Media on the ones and twos, keeping us looking and sounding right. And shout out to my baby in the chat room right now, because we are talking about it. Our disclaimer, as always, these are our opinions, not facts, just our opinions, and some of the opinions of our guests are not always the opinions of the I Am Talitha Cumi Show, Food for the Soul Media Group, or Gorilla Cross Media. And if you want to weigh in, leave us a comment in the chat room on our YouTube station or FB page, you guys. And if you're tuning in on Facebook, please follow us and like our page and share it. If you're watching us live on Food for the Soul Media Group YouTube station right now, hit that subscribe button for me. Also go to our Instagram and follow us at Food for the Soul Media Group and I Am Talitha _Cumi. You guys, we are looking for sponsors and donors for the new year to help keep our show a priority in bringing you great news, good discussions, and great guests, and we need you. So if you're looking to be a guest or promote your business with us, go to foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com or inbox us today. It is March, y'all. Can y'all believe that we are already in our third month of the year? And this month is National Women's History Month, and our theme for the month is redoing the redo. So welcome to the show, ladies. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I know we were kind of rushed in. I got off work kind of late, and I'll explain that to you a little bit later. But our topic tonight is when what you thought was working didn't. And so I want you guys to go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Let us know who you are and what you do. And Amber, I'm going to start with you.
All right. Hi, I'm Amber, or I go by Amber the Goddess. I am a makeup artist and an esthetician. I've been a makeup artist for about 7 or 8 years, and I've been an esthetician for about 4 years. So that's just a little bit about myself and what I do.
Okay. And Miss Machelle?
Hi, I'm Evangelist Machelle. I'm
Okay.
a gospel artist. I also teach seniors exercise.
Wow.
I'm a published author, mother, just a happy person trying to do what I got to do.
Wow.
I love that.
With all of that stuff, man.
Gosh.
And we're going to talk about that too.
Okay.
Well, I would love to hear both of your backstories and why did you both have to do, or did you do a redo or a reinvention of yourself, if you will? Like, what happened to make you have to start all over or start something different? So Machelle, I want to start with you.
Well, when you get my age, you definitely have seen a lot and been through a lot. A lot of things changed me. Cancer.
Okay.
I survived.
Wow.
Now I have a loved one that's fighting with cancer. I've had over 10 surgeries in my life. I I was in gangs when I was younger. Just a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And as I always had music. I love to sing and dance. They said I was singing before I talked, and I was dancing and running before I walked.
Wow.
So I've always taught dance. I do voice lessons. I was doing a lot, and then I knew I had writing. I had a teacher that called my parents because she thought I stole somebody's work, and they said, no, she can write. So that's what started me writing books. But then because of everything that went on, you know, different tragedies, different divorces, different things, I finally got a man in my life who said, look, I'm sorry, you know God, and you can't do what?
Right.
And really encouraged me, along with my daughters, who one of my oldest is my manager. And it made me really start thinking about my life. And I'm like, wow, I've got this wonderful man. Why am I living in the past about the abuses, jumping out of 2-story buildings, trying to get away and living through it? Not being able to have a child, and then miraculously a child appears, having grandchildren now. And I really had to stop and say, what am I doing? What is this all about? And being of what I've gone through, I want to be there for young women who really are trying to be out there making it, and they need that support. They need someone who's not going to judge them. Like I always tell women my age, let them have their day. Let them wear what they wear, do what they want to do. Let them be young and experience it. We had our time.
Right.
So like I said, all that I've been through caused me to change my life. Even my singing style, I realized gospel doesn't have to be, I wasn't raised on traditional gospel. I was I was raised Catholic. So I was used to the Ave Maria and the folk music. And then my oldest daughter and youngest daughter started getting on me. Mom, just sing like you. Just do you. You love God. When you're by yourself, you go for it. You don't care who's looking. And so I heard a song that said, I want to dance like no one's looking. I want to live like there's no tomorrow. And I said, God, be my voice coach. God, help my body heal from all these things that I've been through. And when he did, I said, I've got to live for you. I need to understand my purpose. And now I sing, I teach, I motivate. I do everything with joy, hoping that that's going to bring somebody else something. And I love when women say, I want to be like you. I want to be youthful and, you know, still do my thing. And I need some tips on makeup, so we'll talk about that.
I got you.
Wow. So because I was looking at your bio, when was the gang activity? When was that? And what type of, come on, Miss Machelle, you was banging?
You don't even seem like
I'm about to say you don't even.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was in the Crips, and I dated the leader. I dated not Tukey, who was a leader. I dated. You know, I was in San Diego. I think what happens in life with a lot of people, like that's why I love Sarah Jakes. I should be giving her a plug, but I do because it's the same thing. You're raised a certain way, but you got to go find it. Except for there was a lot of abuse.
Okay.
So I ran away from home. Thought that was going to help. And I wanted to have a child, and I got it. I got the child, loved the child, but the relationship, I never heard of gangs. I was very isolated and sheltered, and I didn't know gangs. I just knew that they were doing activities. And so I became the biggest thief and everything till I saw them try to jump on an older woman, and I wasn't going to have it. And then as time went, lived in about 89 places, 90 places in my life.
In California?
Running.
Oh, wow. Okay. Then.
With my child under my arm. Everyone telling me, oh, girl, just leave it alone. No, that's my baby. I asked for her. So as big as she got, I still carried her. And then one day after I got married, like I said, I had to run from him because he was trying to kill me. I jumped out of a building, and I thought there was a bush when I went back to look. There wasn't a big bush.
Oh, wow.
It was just twig, tree, branches. God just held it like arms.
That's a blessing.
And I got away.
A lot.
I'm driving around there. He didn't give me a car, so I took one of the worst cars we had. I ended up in an area in San Diego, and I was sitting out in front of a house, and I saw a guy, and I've always been a giving, not afraid of people because of the abuse I endured.
Right.
I didn't have a fear of dying. And a guy was standing out front, leaning on the car. I was holding my daughter. It was freezing. I said, "You need to get in the car and sit down." He said, "You don't know who I am." I said, "I don't care. It's cold." He said, "Do you know who the Crips are?" I said, "What's a Crip?" He started laughing at me. He said, "You different." I said, "Just get in the car. It's cold." He got in the car. We talked all night. Then in the morning, he said, "Well, my sister lives right here. I'll ask her, can you stay?" And back then, if you had welfare and food stamps, anybody would take you in. But it ended up, because of that, being that I was sheltered and the things that happened, I learned how to survive. I learned to watch. I learned the streets.
Okay.
And it was so bad, I didn't even know he had gotten picked up and taken to jail. Because when you're in the gang, you're just the girl. And my thing was oldie and get drunk, get high, PCP,
Really?
angel dust.
And that was still when you had your baby.
She was 4.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And family wouldn't take me in. And,
Really?
you know, I used to not want to write my story because everybody was protective, but it's my story. And if it could help somebody to know that if you could go through all of that, attacked, almost killed while I was with my daughter, then a second attack. So the worst was a police came and his friend said, "She's faking it." And he looked at my name and he said, "Get out." Because he saw my name and that I'd been through that before. Says she's in shock. And I've had people ask me, "How do you do it?" I've gone to counselors and they're like, "How did you survive all of this stuff?" God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they probably
every
wanted you to give them counsel.
I'm one of
Actually, right.
I'm one of those people that when I hear people say he can't be real because of what they've gone through,
He is.
I'm
real.
like, let me tell you what I've been through.
Man.
And if God, I just told my daughter a little while ago, if God was my real father, on earth, I'd have been a brat, spoiled brat, because that's how good he is to me.
Yeah.
And it kept me from, I did try to commit suicide
Okay.
because I got out of the gangs. The girls wanted to kill me because they were like, "How'd she come in and she your lady and we don't even know her."
So they was jealous.
Yeah.
That
And
part.
My life, it took, there was a lot that I went through. Too many this post bed, what they call it, pillow to the bed, whatever. Just trying to find my way, trying to figure out who I was. Didn't know who I was. And I think a lot of young women do. And so we do the things to stay alive. And to stay alive, I had to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But knowing that I'm here today and I've gotten through all those illnesses and surgeries and people after me, you know, not knowing some girl's guy was there coming after me with a gun right after I leave. Everybody like, "Girl, you lucky." She was going to get you.
Damn.
And just running. And then I got excited because one of the most favorite scriptures I heard was, it was talking about everyone that runs a race. And even though I was bullied, it made me run from people and I became a track runner. But the only thing that kept me from the Olympics is I busted my knee. But that running has taught me to run this race of faith.
Wow.
And
That's
just
strong.
trusting God. And I love all my sisters. No jealousy, no hatred. Everything has changed where I just want to see other people be happy and live their lives and know that there's always a way. There's always a way. And a lot of the singing is what all my songs are true stories. Nothing is made up.
Do you write all of them?
All of them.
Wow.
And my daughter's the only one I trust to sing with me. She does all my background. She keeps saying, "Ma, I said, look, I'm 65. I'll be 66 this year. I'm ready to, at 70, I want to sell my music, give it to someone, and I want to help another young person come up.
Yeah.
That's strength.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
And it's so much strength. And I'm trying to see, Amber, what you got?
I don't got nothing to top that. But
You like
that one, look.
you like none of that, but
None of
yeah,
that.
you know what I'm saying. But it's real though.
That's strength. That's amazing. So my story is a little different.
Okay.
I actually started doing makeup at a very young age. I think I used makeup as a getaway. My dad and my mom were actually going through a divorce at the time.
Okay.
So I needed a way to cope outside of counseling. The counselor gave me a stress ball, hated it. She told me to write stuff down. That was okay. But I think my mom, she had like makeup, like a lot of expensive makeup. So I used to play in it secretly. She didn't know. And then one day I was like, you guys, y'all need to sit down. I think it was like Christmas. Y'all need to sit down. I'm going to have a fashion show. So mom was like, this is normal for Amber. I'm very much a very outspoken person anyway. And in the midst of that, I was like, yeah, let's have a fashion show. Let's do it. So I did my makeup and I did a full face of everything. I had blue eyeshadow on one eye, pink on the other. I did the full 9. And my family they didn't know I was in the bathroom getting a whole face made up. And so when I came out, I was like, ta-da, this is me, y'all. And actually, I thought my mom was going to be upset. And my father was there at the time, and he was like, actually, you pretty good for a 12-year-old to have mapped that out. That's insane. So I think I'm very grateful to have a family that actually supported me at a very young age, because a lot of people don't have that. Instead of having like a mother that's like, take that off, which I thought was what she was gonna say, but she didn't. So she kind of fed into my talents, and makeup was like my end all be all for a while. And then I ended up going to Texas Southern University, and I did my makeup all the time. And I did my first face on a girl that they used to actually bully. They used to bully her really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Yeah, just because she was, number one, a little bit bigger, and I'm not like I guess trying to call her ugly, the ugly girl, right? And so I hated that. And I told her one day, like, come to my room, like, we gonna get you together, girl. Like, I'm not finna let them do you like that. That is not okay. So I did her face, and she walked down there and was like, dang, you look really cute. And I'm like, yeah, I bet she does. Yeah, because what you're not gonna do is sit here and bully her because she looks different from you guys. And I think she's Haitian too, so it was a different culture for them. And so I guess the easiest thing was to bully her. And then I just kept doing makeup. I just kept doing it. People really loved it. I did it for roommates. I did it for people just on my floor at the time. And I ended up doing it for Texas Southern Presidential Board. Oh, wow. And it really became a thing. I also was on a organization called Women of Gold, and also did makeup for them as well. I actually thought I was going to graduate from Texas Southern. I didn't, because financially it just got, HBCUs are very expensive. Like that's just the case. Yeah. So I ended up coming home. And I was working like at retail stores and all this other stuff. And I also got kind of caught up in the club life heavily. I worked at a few different clubs in St. Louis. And I'm gonna be honest, it really was a miserable place. I really didn't like where I was working in clubs and things of that nature. And for me to be younger doing it, I think I was just 21, like freshly 21. Right. And that was kind of my first venture. And I was like, there got to be more to this, And I mean, I'm doing makeup, but like, I'm just doing makeup for like, average, the strippers, the bottle girls, you know? So I'm like, there has to be more than this to life, So I ended up going to Crave Beauty Academy. I actually had my mom's lash tech at the time became my mentor, and she was like, you should try aesthetics. She's like, you like skin, you like all this stuff. I used to watch Dr. Pimple Popper just... Ew. Yeah. A lot of people say that and they're like, girl, that is disgusting. But it's one of those things where I was young people was watching cartoons. I was watching Dr. Pimple Popper. Like that was a normal thing. Yeah, that was my thing. Like SpongeBob and Dr. Pimple Popper, they went hand in hand. For me, they went hand in hand. So I guess that was my thing. So she was like, yeah, try aesthetics, like, Texas Southern didn't work out, but don't give up, So I was like, okay. So she took me to the school that she went to and was like, let's go see it. Let's go tour it. And ended up going to school. 2020 hit and March hit, and everybody was a little nervous because they were like, how are we going to do school? And they talking about this virus, this COVID thing or whatever. And it actually hit, and we couldn't go to school like in person. So how do you learn how to wax on a screen? Yeah. There's no way for you to do that. So we just did a lot of book work on screen for a while. And it was very hard for me because I read, but I'm not a book savvy person. That's just not how I'm a hands-on girl. Hands-on, that's just it. So I had to really figure out a way to manage how to wax. So I started sugar waxing or fake sugar waxing my mom. She let me practice on her. Like I said, my mom has always been my supporter. Like love her. But so I started sugar waxing on her, and then we finally ended up going back to school. When I went to school, they rushed us. They did not give us to me personally, they didn't give us the proper education that I feel like I needed to actually succeed.
Yeah.
And I pretty much was telling all my friends, family, come in. Like, I need to get practice because they're not giving me what I need right now. So I'm going to have to do it on my own. And I did. I got a lot of clients through school. And then after that, I graduated. I took the test because you do have to take a state board to actually become a licensed esthetician.
Right.
And I failed. I actually failed my first time. And after the second time, I failed twice. And that second time I was like, I'm finna give up. I'm over it. I'm just gonna do makeup and that's just gonna be it. But I had somebody on my side at the time. And he was like, no, you're not gonna give up. I'm gonna buy you more materials. We're gonna figure this out because the materials they gave you just was not working. But there's a way for you to pass.
Right.
Third time, I failed. I was like, this is not working. I'm getting frustrated at this point. This is not working.
Third time, failed.
Fourth time, failed. I said, okay.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. This last time, though, I was like, if I do not pass, I'm switching my career. End of story. I'm not doing this. This continuous fail is not happening.
Yeah.
I went in there shaking in my boots.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think my problem was I was second guessing myself on the test.
Okay.
It's two different tests that you have to take. The first one is a written and the second one is a practical. Pass the practical. Because like I said, I'm hands-on. You see me do it, it's not a problem. Something about the book, writing, I'm just not that girl. So I went in there and I was like, I have to pass this. And this is, I think, in this moment for me was my God story, because I think in that moment I was like, nah, we're going to pray. We're going to just stop what I'm doing and I'm going to pray. Because in this moment, there's no way that I fail this a fifth time. And 5 is my favorite number. So I'm like, if I pass, then this has to be a God. This has to be God. There's no way. I passed. I passed on my 5th time. And I was like, yes. So then in that moment, I started living through God a little more. You know, I definitely was drinking and smoking and doing all the things at some point. And I did later in life, like recently, I kind of stopped because I realized how far he's gotten me.
Yeah.
And after that, I ended up staying in St. Louis, but I felt stagnant. I felt so stagnant being in St. Louis. Like,
hold that right there.
Yeah.
Hold that right there, because I want to ask you about that, and we're going to go into that. I want to know, what would either of you say on how you knew that you had to totally transition into something different, and how did it affect your family and relationships? So when did you know? When was the moment where you said, I have to do something different right now? And then how did it affect your family?
Yeah.
And Machelle, I want to go with you.
This is going to sound strange, but I had gotten to the point where my music was headed somewhere, so to speak. And I was around the wrong people, though, the wrong team.
Okay.
My husband had to go to war. I'd never been away from him more than a week. Kuwait, the Iraqi war on freedom. I had started back drinking a little bit, trying to fill the void. And one night I was leaving the studio, mad, driving recklessly, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and it looked like a fireball, like an orangish color. And I got so scared, and I was like, I don't want to die. Am I going to hell? What's happening? What is that? And it wouldn't go away. And then I said, God, please. It went away immediately. Then it was black. I didn't see cars, stars, just me. And then I felt like my car was floating. I'm like, am I dreaming? I didn't even remember getting home. And I remember for a couple of weeks, I just felt dead inside. I felt like my life was over. Why don't I just kill myself again? I done it. I tried before. Why don't I? Nobody will care. But then I remembered that I told you I'd been in a hospital before, and I remembered my oldest. And that girl knows I'm a fun mom, but don't play. And that day she slapped the mess out of me and said, you're selfish. You're just going to leave. And I remembered it. And I know that's how God gives you those thoughts. And it was like, you're just going to leave? Even when I got in the ambulance, the man said, what is wrong with you? You're beautiful. I wasn't told that I was the oddball in the family. Mix. Everyone mix. I'm the only one look black. I always had a lot of hair, but that was it. So I looked at him mad. I was just angry at the world. No, I'm black as tar and I'm ugly. He said, I don't ever want to see you in here again. And it was when this one doctor, I was in the hospital, and this middle guy said, I can sing the people to sleep. He said, no, it's not going to work. We have trouble every night. They said, please. They sat on the floor and I sang 2 songs. They just went straight to bed. He said, that never happens. I don't ever want to see you here again. And because I had an attitude, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
He said, no, come back here. The reason I'm saying that is because I see you. I hear your voice, but it's more than that. You really care. And I knew I didn't get it all together, but I knew I had a purpose. And then, like I said, cancer. But it's mainly my oldest. The things that she had to go through, she's here with us today. But what I had to go through, things I didn't know she saw, that now that she's older, she'll tell me certain triggers. And I just apologize. But God said, let it go. You've been forgiven. Let me have her. Stay out of my way. And now she's like the best friend I've ever had.
And that smack did it. That smack did. And how afraid was she, possibly to be like, I'm finna smack my mom, but I need to smack her.
Did she like look scared in the face?
Yeah, like, did you?
Was she scared in the face?
And did you look at her like, what the hell?
She's still like that to this day. She said people will be like, your mom, when they don't see me, they're looking for Big Medea.
Yeah.
And I come in silly, giddy. But then once they get out of line, they're like, they find out.
Yeah, they
don't
find
play
out.
with my kids.
Okay.
Don't play. I come from there. And she will tell people, I know when to quit. And I would never put my hands on my mom.
Yeah.
But that day, it was like, I'll slap you so that you'll live.
get it.
I will get what I got coming.
Yeah.
But we have so much respect for her.
Yeah. Okay. And I can get with that. And so with you, golly, your story is making me emotional. So, Amber, finish your story on why you ended up transitioning. What happened after the pandemic and you failed your 4 times and you passed your 5th time?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. What happened for you to be like, you know what? I gotta move around. Like St. Louis is not the place for me. And how did it affect your family?
Well, the crazy part is, after I finally passed, I thought I was good. Me and my mom actually had a really bad coming, because I actually ended up moving back home when I came back from Texas Southern.
Okay.
And we argued every other day, every other day, tantrums. It was really bad. I'm not gonna lie. But I think that made me feel like, okay, I love my mom, but we're better further apart.
Okay.
And she knows that we're friends every time I move, but every time I'm in the house with her, it's always issues, it's problems. I think I also worked at OBGYN, and I think that really is what did it. I've seen so many different women come in and out of that hospital. I've watched women literally lose twins right there, like as I'm checking them in to go into labor. And I'm gonna be honest, I think just the idea of watching that over and over, I'm like, this is a lot. Like being in the hospital and working this job that they're asking for so much of my energy, to the point where I'm losing energy for being an esthetician, for doing my makeup thing. I'm there 6 days a week. Like I don't even know myself anymore. Every time I went home, I'm crying because I'm listening to these women tell their story, or I'm seeing these women sad every single day. And it was a lot for me. It didn't hit me right. And I knew I was stuck. I felt just stuck. I felt stagnant. I used to imagine myself in a corner in a dark room crying alone every day. And then I just kind of was like, you got to get out of here. This, obviously, you're not happy here. There was even a time where my family, we watched people get shot in front of our house. We don't know who these people are. Somebody got shot right in front of our house. And I think for me, it's just like, there's so much going on in St. Louis that I cannot handle. Every time I'm anywhere else, I don't have this feeling of miserableness, you know, but I'm here and I don't want to be here. I don't want to be on this earth. I don't want to live. And there have been times where I was in my car and I'm just wanting to swerve, like just at random, because I'm just like blanked out. And I just feel like that's not okay. I shouldn't be in that boat, especially with the talent that I did create for myself. I shouldn't feel like I hate myself. I shouldn't feel like I hate who's around me, and I'm taking it out on everybody around me. And I just kind of was ready to go. So I started to make a plan. I left the hospital. I started to work at Ulta Beauty. And even then I was kind of like, I still don't like this. Like, I'm not feeling just doing eyebrows every day. That's pretty much all I was doing. And I was actually supposed to move somewhere else. I wasn't going to come to Vegas, but plans changed, and I ended up I have a friend here, and she was like, come with me, just be with me, just move with me. Like, you're going to be fine out here. Trust me. And I'm like, I don't know, girl. I don't know. And then I think one day I was going through something with some friends in St. Louis, and I'm watching them be so stagnant. And she almost had a situation where, with her other friend, that she almost had a gun put to her head. And she wanted me to help her through that. And I couldn't, because I don't know what I can do for you, for a friend that I've told you on multiple occasions, stop, you got to get rid of this girl. So I think in that moment I was kind of like, yeah, St. Louis is one of those stagnant places. I gotta find a way. And then I called her and I was like, yep, let's go. Yep, we gonna figure it out. I'm gonna move. Let's move. Let's go now. So she's like, okay, we gonna find it. Let's make a plan. Let's figure it out. So I didn't tell nobody I was moving, actually, for 6 months. I kept it a secret for a while because I wanted to make sure I was stable. I had my plan set.
Yeah.
I sold a lot of stuff. I saved specifically just to move, and then one day I went into my mom's room and I was like, hey girl, love you. I'm moving out. And she was like, what you mean? I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to move. And she was like, I was like, how do you feel about that? And she was like, I really don't like it because I want to protect you. I can't protect you if you're far away from me.
Yeah.
I'm a 24-hour drive away from home right now. And I'm the only person in my family that is okay with being this far out. Everybody else is at home. You know? So I think my mom was like, I can't stop you though. She's like, you have always been, my nickname at home around my family is Butterfly, because I just am not afraid to go to the next. Like, I'm going to keep going. And so she's like, I can't stop you. And she's like, I want to protect you, but I have to realize you have to do it yourself. You have to be able to live and grow up and make your own mistakes. I can't make mistakes for you. And she said, for the longest, I feel like that's what I was doing, is making mistakes for you. That's kind of why we got into it when we got into it. But you gotta go. You gotta go. And at that point, I decided to leave. And my siblings, they were okay with it, but I think my mom, it hit her the most, and it kind of hit our relationship a little bit different. So
how long have you been out here?
5 weeks.
Excuse me?
5 weeks.
5 weeks you've been out here. So what do you think about it so far in 5 weeks?
I feel like it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, but I will say I've had more connections here in 5 weeks than I've had in St. Louis in 25 years.
Wow.
So I think that tells a lot about me being here, being a gift from God.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When it starts to work like that, you got to thank God and say, okay, God, I thank you that I made the right move. Because that's the same thing that happened to Bobby and I when we came. We were like, doors just kind of started
open. Random too.
Actually, the first month we came was right before the pandemic. So the first month we came, we were shaking in our boots because we were like, okay, nothing was working. The job he had fell through.
Yes,
the job I had, the person that hired me got fired before I came out here. So I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And so around February, things just started picking up. The pandemic happened, but the God just favored us and kept us going. And so that's when we really knew, like, okay, God, we heard from you and we made the right decision. So I am excited for you. There's a lot to offer out here.
Thank you.
Miss Machelle, you're not here locally. You're in San Diego, right? So do you come just back and forth?
I might as well live here.
Yeah, because you're out here all the time.
My
so your daughter
oldest
lives out here.
Been out here for almost 20 years.
Okay.
So, and because she's in music, she has introduced me to producers and different people. So she's a big help, but I'm here to support her too and let people know she got people. So don't play.
Okay.
You know, guys.
Just
you know,
just in case. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, not in the hardcore way, just, I will pray you down.
You pray
make
for
sure
you,
I get that right.
You're not gonna beat them up.
And then my baby girl just moved out here, and I'm loving it because the oldest one really needed that support. She's such a sweetheart, and sometimes people see that and they think, oh, okay, I'll play on that, she'll take me in, whatever. But the youngest, she's real no nonsense.
Okay.
She's like her. She's just a little butterfly. She does what she got to do. She's at Shin Young right now. She said it was expensive, but it was worth going, taking my babies.
I want to see that.
So they're all here now. So I'm here about 4 months out of the year.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I am amazed by by both of your stories. I'm so inspired. But we are about to take a short commercial break. When we come back, more from my special guest and some tips on how to start over if that's something that you're looking into doing. And we'll be right back. Yeah. And we are back. If you just joined us, thank you for tuning in to the IAM Talitha Cumi Show on Food for the Soul Media Group and Vegas Hype Media. And I am here with my special guest, Amber Hunter and Machelle Slade. So we have been talking about when what you thought was working didn't. And for me, I like to call that the pivot, because I'm just like a pivot person. I'm always that person who is glass half full. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, do I have to make a pivot? And so I'm always down for pivoting or reinventing myself. And that's why I called the theme, the redoing of the redo. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to look up some helpful tips, and I found some tips on how to know when you may need to pivot or reinvent yourself, and a few tips on how to do it. And so here are some possible reasons why it could be time for you to start reinventing yourself. It says you're stuck in a rut. You're looking for a career change. You're going through an existential crisis. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that part. Crisis. You need a change, or you're seeking fulfillment out of life. And then here are a few tips on how to reinvent yourself. It says the first, you want to start with self-understanding and self-awareness. Mm-hmm. You want to define your core values. You want to ask yourself what you want to change. You want to set realistic goals. You want to build positive habits. You want to practice self-reflection. You want to be honest with yourself. Yeah. You want to ask for support. You want to surround yourself with the right people. And you want to celebrate your success. Mm. So, you know, you guys know I am Google happy. And so that's just something that I looked up, and I thought that that those were some really good tips and really good practices for you if you're trying to reinvent yourself, or if you're going through something and you're like, okay, I need to do something different. So those might be some tips that may help you. And since it's Women's History Month, I wanted to highlight 3 amazing ladies that reinvented themselves, and it totally paid off. So did you know that Vera Wang, the designer Vera Wang, she was a competitive figure skater, a journalist, and a fashion editor in her early career, but at 40, she started fresh and launched her new iconic bridal line, and she has never looked back. So that's how she became a designer. But she used to be a figure skater. Go figure. And then famous actress Viola Davis. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Viola Davis is a Juilliard-trained actor and created a substantial body of work during her career? However, at age 43, Davis landed a role opposite Meryl Streep in the film Doubt, and the industry really started to take notice. She received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress, and then followed shortly by a Best Actress a nomination for The Help. And so Viola Davis was doing theater, and then she ended up getting noticed at age 43. 1993. And then my last person is the famous author J.K. Rowling. Rowling, I don't know how to pronounce her name. At 30 years old, Arthur J.K. Rowling was a divorced mother of two, clinically depressed, and living off of public assistance. During her lowest point, she began writing as an outlet and a way to heal. And she sent the acclaimed Harry Potter manuscript to 12 publishers. And a year later, Rowling received the green light from another publisher, and the rest is history.
Wow.
And so she, at age 30, was a divorced mother of two and living off of public assistance. And now she's probably the most well-known, wealthiest author
That is known right now.
Yeah, as a woman.
Right
yeah,
now. That's crazy.
So that was so dope to me. So I wanted to just kind of highlight some people who actually did the work. And so for you guys, I want to know which of those tips resonated with you the most, and what would you say to someone that may be thinking about making a change? And Amber, I'm going to start with you.
I would say for me, it was the change one. I feel like being okay with change and knowing that the change is not always bad. I think a lot of times I find, especially in my generation, people kind of want to be stagnant. They're okay with being in that same position over and over and over and over. But if you really want more for yourself, you're going to have to be okay with things kind of rearranging at random. And also just being okay with investing in your career. And the mindset of, oh, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can, when you can. You really can. But you have to be okay with knowing that change is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think people are very scared that when things do change, they're gonna just fall and crash, but that's also a part of the process. I don't think people say L is for losses, but I feel like it's actually for learns. It's for lessons. Those lessons should take you further in life, and as you go on, you'll realize that change is always worth it, you know? So I think for me, that would be my biggest one for sure.
And Machelle, what about you?
I was just admiring this young person.
I know.
Thank you.
We're sitting here like in awe right now. So Machelle, which one resonated
Similar
with you?
to what she said, one of my favorite old songs is "Everything Must Change."
Ooh, I love that song.
Nothing stays the same.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people are afraid of change because it's the unknown.
It's
Yes.
the unknown.
And it's okay.
For sure.
Just like I said, with all I went through, it wasn't until I realized I'm comfortable in my pain.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to talk to me because all I talked about was, oh, they did.
Yeah.
When I finally saw, of course, again, my daughter looked like really mom. And I started growing up. It sounds funny, but one of my books is called Growing Up All Over Again. I felt that God gave me another chance
Yes.
to change and make things better. Not right, because no one's right. No one's
Yeah.
good. Everybody has something that they have to keep learning. But those changes started feeling uncomfortable, which felt good. Because I realized, like they say with the butterfly, Miss Butterfly, if you help a butterfly out of its cocoon, it'll die.
Yep.
The whole process is what makes it stronger.
Yep.
Chemically inside there's a lot going on inside there. And so when I had cancer, God showed me a dream, and there was a giant egg, and I walked up to the egg and I went to touch it, and it said, no, that's you. People, too many people touching, too many people telling. You start coming to me because you're going to get all the right answers. And as I changed, I do feel that I am no longer that little caterpillar. I'm a butterfly. And I really feel like that now. I am that butterfly. And yes, there's still those uncomfortable, the pain, the thoughts, and everything that come. But I'm loving the change. And every time I wake up, if I feel like I'm this age and know whatever, because sometimes you get to an age and like, I'm already counting 5 years from now, I'm going to be 70 in 5 years.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you're living and you have life, and that life emanates.
that's wiser.
That life goes.
You become wiser.
That life,
For sure.
you see it in someone's eyes. You could see. You could see life.
Yeah.
So change has really, I think that's a big step, is to accept change and know that it's not going to feel good. But just remember that little caterpillar. Don't try to help it out.
Yeah. Let it
be.
move on its own. You guys
are on its own.
We are at the end of the show. We're almost at the end of the show. So do either of you have anything coming up, and how can we follow you on social media? Amber, we're going to start with you. So tell me your business name again and how we can follow.
Yeah, for sure. So my business name on Instagram is gonna be The Real Goddessguru.
Okay.
I'm big on there, and also my other Instagram is gonna be Amber the Goddess. You can follow me there. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can as well. Just Amber Hunter. It's a big Goddess Guru sign in the bio, so you will know. Yeah, for sure. As of right now, I don't have anything too crazy coming up. But I will say that I am going to be getting a studio here for my makeup and for my aesthetics. So I would love for you guys to book with me.
We need to come
book with me.
Through. We need to come.
Yeah,
through.
for sure. So that's just a little bit,
Okay. And Machelle, what you got? What's your Instagram, your Facebook? How can we follow you? And do you have anything coming up? Show-wise or anything?
On Facebook, I'm Machelle Slade, and Machelle is with an A, Machelle. I'm on Instagram at Machelle Sings. I'm just I just finished an album.
Okay.
And I'm just traveling. I'm just kind of stopping here and there. Still learning how to get my name, how to talk to people. They have to see me, because if I say da 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 da, and they look at your years or your age, they think I'm gonna get up in there and sing Kumbaya.
They're like, what?
Yeah. So right now it's just being productive and just continuing to just put one foot in front of the other, and mainly helping young women love themselves and do what they're called to do.
Mentor me, please.
Yeah. Please. And Amber says she is ready.
I'm ready.
Machelle, because you are our spotlight artist as well for the evening, I wanted to talk to you. I want to talk about all of your accomplishments and ask you, how do you find time to balance it all with family and ministry? So in the bio it says you're an ordained evangelist, which you said. You do ministry and music. You're married and you have kids and grandkids. You are an Album of the Year BMA award winner for your contemporary gospel record, Believe It. You released your international single with Nigerian recording artist Brown Key Dala titled So Addicted. You are a fellow podcaster, and you are the host of a faith-based inspirational podcast, Straight from the Heart, that airs weekly on Facebook Live, and you're a mentor. So what I want to say is what and how do you balance all of that? How?
Well, because all my kids are grown.
Okay.
The grandkids live up here. So when I know I need to see everybody, I do.
Okay.
I also know how to take time and be still. I do mountain walks, hikes, and I just sit very still and let God just pour into me.
Okay.
I don't even talk back. And so all of that balances me out. And there's lots of peace, a lot more peace than I've ever had. And I just make sure, like, I have a day where I'll sit still and then I'll hear, call this person, and I just start picking people. I pick people on Facebook. You're on my page, so don't be on here if you don't want to talk to me, because I'm here to encourage you. And so that's how I started growing and became a podcast, Straight from the Heart.
Okay.
And teaching the women. So I just am at a place where I have peace, and so I balance it out and spend time. My husband's in the military, so he's gone a lot.
Okay.
So when we get together, it's Google eyes all over again.
And that is so dope. What is your podcast? When does it come on?
Usually Wednesdays.
Wednesdays?
Mm-hmm.
What time?
12 o'clock.
So it's 12 o'clock Pacific Standard, because you're in Cali.
San Diego. And it's Straight from the Heart.
Straight from the Heart. Is it from your page, or do you have a FB page specifically
Facebook
for it?
Live, or either I record and put it up. Yeah, just on my Facebook page.
Okay.
I've been asked by some people to go to YouTube because they don't really like Facebook.
Yeah, a lot of people are not on it. So
I'm thinking about
transferring,
going to YouTube.
I
need help from you, young people.
I absolutely got you, because I want to hear it, because I need some pouring into too. I do a lot of pouring out, and I would like some pouring into for myself. So I want to thank both of you ladies for coming out. Please keep in mind that we are looking for positive artists who would like to have a live featured performance to end the show every week. You can be a Christian artist or a secular artist, but we just need music with some substance and positivity. If you're interested, you can email us at foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com for more information, and you could be our next guest. And now, here is Machelle Slade with Praise Him.
feel the spirit moving in this place? Stirring up the sound of our praise. Can't you feel the fire burning deep inside? To take our praise higher and higher. Everybody, come on. Everybody, everybody, come on. Hey, hey. The essence of the Lord is everywhere. How can you sit when praise is in the air? Everybody, come on. Everybody, everybody, come on. Hey, hey. Don't look to the left and don't look to the right. All eyes on him, for he's our true desire. Mercy endures new each and every day. Saved by grace, he's worthy of praise. Everybody, come on. Everybody, everybody, come on. Hey, hey. Woo. The essence of the Lord is everywhere. How can you sit when praise is in the air? Praise. Everybody, come on. Everybody, everybody, come on. Praise him with sign language, praise him with instruments, praise him with song and with dance. Praise him with sign language, praise him with instruments, praise him with song and with dance. Hey, everybody, come on. Everybody, everybody, come on. Hey, hey. Get up, get on up, 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 and dance to the music. Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Everybody, dance to come on. You gotta dance to the music. Hey, everybody, praise him.
Woo. Everybody, praise him. Praise him. Hey, you guys. So I told you guys at the top of the show that I was going to tell you what was going on with me and why I'm so stressed right now. Jesus help me today. But if you guys happen to love Girl Scout cookies, this weekend is the last weekend that they will be selling in these streets. So if you are near the Smiths on Civic Center and Lake Mead, there's going to be a troop there from 8 o'clock a.m. to 10 o'clock a.m. If you are near U Swirl in Henderson, there are going to be 2 troops there from 12 o'clock p.m. to 2 p.m. and then 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then if you are near the Smiths off of Nellis, I think it's 405 Nellis, there's going to be a Girl Scout troop there on Sunday from 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. So it is Girl Scout weekend. If you guys want to support them, come on out. Make sure to tune in every Friday to the I Am Talitha Cumi Show at 7:30 p.m. on our FB page and YouTube station, Food for the Soul Media Group, and tell your people. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms, I Am Talitha Cumi and Food for the Soul Media Group. Our show tonight has been sponsored in part by the Orlay Collective, Real The Real Big Bobby B Beats. I'm sorry, that's a lot. Eccentric Soul Films, K Griffiths LLC, Solid Truth LLC, Goddessguru Beauty Enhancements, 23rd Letter Entertainment, and Machelle Slade Music. Everybody get up and praise him. We'll see you guys later. Bye.